think hearing the other presentations has made me realise that the banks, and I don't just talk national here, are probably more generalists, and what I'm saying is really applicable regardless of whether you are starting out or you've got a developing business, because you're still going to need a bank to work with. And the ideal is that you form a partnership with your bank. As far as national structured, you may start in the area that I'm working in currently, which is the business banking area, which is pitched at the lower end of the market, but we then progress into a middle market area and right up to the institutional. And as your business develops and you've got changing requirements, then we've got a range of specialists that we can bring in to assist you, because the topic today was how banks can assist your business as well as loan criteria. As far as loan criteria goes, the way that we operate is not so much we've got a standard range of products and you've got a borrowing requirement, so here, take this. We very much like you to make an appointment, come along, explain what you're doing. Hopefully you can have a few more than 200 words, but we don't need to know every little detail of your business. It can be a turn-off. An overview is enough for us to understand the drivers, the dynamics of your business, so that we can then, from this massive range of products and services, pick and choose things that we think would work really well for you. On the website, there is some basic information about loans, you know, your revolving credit facilities, your term loans, the basis of what they are, situations that you'd use them, that is all covered there. But I think the ideal is that you make an appointment. When it's business, make sure you're talking to a business banker, not a personal representative of whichever institution you go to. They're very good on the personal side, but they don't have the full range of products and services. So the appointment will mean that you've got the ear of the person for up to an hour, I would suggest, is reasonable. And you're not going to sit down and find that they're hurrying you through because their lunch hour's coming up. If it is a start-up situation, I would say early on, if you're not quite sure, if you haven't had the benefit of some input from other organisations as to what you should be doing, use the bank as a sounding board. They're quite happy about that. And that way you won't spend a lot of time and energy going off on a tangent. They can quickly give you an idea of what, whether your proposal is going to be viable, and if it is, what sort of information you would need to progress it. Here you start to get into the area of assistance. There's a huge amount of value add material that can be provided by the bank. Templates, CDs, information can be downloaded free from our website in terms of business plan. And I think listening to the other presentations today, that is a really good starting point, because if you can develop the right disciplines day one, hopefully you can structure something in the early days that will give you a good foundation moving forward, and you will be quite familiar with it. In terms of business assistance, National Bank runs a fantastic workshop series, which is not just for our clients. Anybody can enrol, and now you can do it online, and they cover a range of things, including the financial aspect of the business as well. So if you are looking at raising finance, use the bank as the sounding board. You can get a lot of the tools and information, go away, complete them. In terms of a partnership, we like people to be involved with other professionals, accountants, lawyers, talk to whoever. We don't see it as just the bank and the business owners. Come back with your credible business plan. That's what we're interested in. We want to know where you are now, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there. We're interested in how much you require. Occasionally we do get people who say, how much money will you lend to me? And I just feel like saying to them, how long is a piece of string? I mean, I have no idea what they do. I can't answer the question. If you're looking for money, work out what you need. Ask for the amount that you need. Don't think, oh, it's actually a bigger figure than I thought. I'll ask for half of it and see how I go, and then I'll come back. Do your homework, because it's not a good look coming back and back and back again. It's really saying that you haven't done your homework. So with this plan, it's how you're going to make it happen. We are interested in you as a person. It doesn't matter how great your plan is, if you don't sell yourself and we don't think that you've got the commitment or the ability or drive to make it happen. If it's borderline, it may be the decision that it's not a viable deal for our bank, and you would probably find that for others as well. So yeah, we're really interested in your ability, your background, where you're at, what you know, why you have got the skills to run this, and why we should support you. We want the overview of the business, as I say. We want the financials that substantiate or support what you're looking at doing, the business plan, the projections, the little bit of narrative as to what the assumptions are. It's quite good, depending on your level of projected turnover, if you get an accountant to have a look through those, because it is very easy, particularly in a startup, to omit some quite basic things which could blow it out. And be prepared to discuss what, if anything, you have to put towards the total cost of what you're looking at doing, and also whether or not you have any security. And then it comes down to, if the bank feels it's a viable deal, we can make a recommendation on how you structure your borrowing. And I would say keep it simple. I've worked with a lot of different people over the years, and I've seen a lot of different structures that have been proposed, put in place and unwound. I think simplicity works. You want something that's going to work for you, that you don't have to keep revisiting, because most people don't find that aspect of the business that interesting. They'd rather be doing whatever it is. Borrowing entity is quite important because it can impact on the structure and also what's required in terms of security if you're going down that track. The bank should be able to give you pricing options. It's fees, rates, margins, what the bank's contribution will be to the whole thing. If you are in a position where you can put up security in this sort of environment, you may well find that the bank is prepared to contribute to your costs of getting that security in place. You should be very clear about what your repayment obligations are and also what your options are too, particularly in relation to fixed rate, because on the business side it isn't exactly a mirror of what you may experience on the personal side for fixed rate borrowing. Security requirements, you should be really clear about what it is and why it's wanted. There are times, given what the deal is, that the bank wouldn't be prepared to back it without security. And I think that it is a reasonable request if they are quite large sums and it is deemed a more risky thing. Then if you want the bank's support, I think it would have to be on the basis of that security, but that should be discussed as well. I think, having listened to the other presentations today, I can see that our strength, because of our value adds and the type of support material and things that we can provide and run, it is at that startup level that we've got a particular strength, and then working with you as things develop and being able to bring in expertise for that particular thing that you're looking at. And one thing that springs to mind is we've got some people who've got a lot of expertise in export financing, and it's really helpful early on to get sort of an overview of that and a few pointers, and when you start to export, for example, you can run things past them and make sure that you're protected as well. And most of this is free. When you start doing the transactions in that, then there is a cost, but there's just a huge resource there, as you'll see if you check it out, and it doesn't really cost anything for most of it. So yeah, draw on the bank's experience, and I think if you can establish some good big business practices day one, then it could definitely flow through and be applied to the applications for these more specialised funders. So that, in a very quick nutshell, is National Bank, and you can flesh out the detail. If you don't have access and you'd like me to give you something specific, come and see me afterwards. Be more than happy to do that for you. Thank you.